The Talking Leeds podcast, match reaction with Aaron Marshall and Gerry McNamee.
Hello there. Welcome to Talking Leeds Match Reaction with myself, Arron Marshall, and Mr. Gerry McNamee. And we're reflecting on the latest instalment of Nightmare at the Amex for Leeds United. A 3-0 hammering against Brighton and Hove Albion. Gerry, you weren't there. I weren't there, thank God. What a real Halloween nightmare we've had over the last game.
I picked a good one. I didn't pick it. I just couldn't make it yesterday. But I was thinking a 5-hour drive back after watching that, really. Sorry I'm late. I was doing some high-power executive stuff. I was loading the dishwasher, which is a very specific task. And nobody can do it like you can, Just don't put the cups in there. Anyway, that's the worst performance of the season. And I hate coming on here flip-flop. 1 week, we're brilliant. The team's great next week. Rubbish. 1 week, far brilliant next week. But you got to call for what it is. Great performance last week against a poor West Ham team. Brendan was brilliant last week. We know that. He was dire yesterday. And he wasn't on his own. I think tactically, just we're way behind on that. That was worse than the Arsenal performance. First 15 minutes. Yeah, if you're going to sit back, at least get a feckin' tackle in and don't just sit back and wait. And, set pieces. I mean, I listened to Farke's after-match interview and I thought, which game was that? Was that a recording? Because I don't remember. I don't know what he's talking about. We had one stage in the first half, we had 81% possession, which sounds like you're hammering the team. Nothing. We had 2 shots on target, all in the one move in late on when we're 3-0 down. And you just think, be aggressive. Just go in the attack, kick a few of them, do something. But passive was the word, and we just sat back. And you knew early on, I think the ball from Perry, he's not great with his feet. Ball out to Ampadu. Ampadu miscontrols it, and they're straight in. You thought, just waiting on the chance. And the first goal, you think Goodmanson, as he's been brilliant all year. This couple of times now he's been printer's going for some reason. I'm not printing anything. You think he's gone for the ball and he's been passed around. Maybe somebody should be covering him. And all 3 goals were, byline cross, empty goal, and that's a real worry. And I pressed the button last night of concerned, very concerned Claxon last night, because I am concerned because we go to Forest next week. Luckily the other results went with us in a way, but we can't depend on that. We go to Forest next week. We can't lose, because if we lose, they're catching up on us and we are in trouble. But throughout the whole team, it was inept, poor set pieces. We had more set pieces. I don't know if there's a tactic to hit the near post because of their 2 centre halves, but he didn't even do that. Longstaff at his poorest game. Inevitably, when we're on the attack, it'd break down and come straight back at us. If you're picking out positives, Okafor showed a couple of times, but few and far between. The midfield was inept. I think Ampadu's way off it at the moment. I think that's 3 or 4 games now where he's been caught ball watching. He needs to up his game. Joe Rodon, I feel sorry for. He got his customary bang in the head. He looked annoyed, and I don't blame him in a way. Joe's one of our better players. Perry made 2 fantastic saves, you have to say. I can't blame him for the goals. I wouldn't blame him. And just all in all, the subs as well, I thought, how did Brendan Harrison stay on the pitch for 90 minutes? He just... It sounds like we're really reactionary, but he was... We called it last week, said how great he was and good. But you have to back up performances, and that looks like the exception rather than the rule. And in this league, you've got to back up. If you can win 2 in a row, it gives you a great opportunity. I'm not saying Brighton is a terrible place for us to go. We haven't scored there since the year 1800 or something. We just don't do that. And fair enough. If we lose 2-0 and it's been unlucky, or we've given it a bit of a go, but it just was insipid and really just where we were way off. As you said to me before, we're 3 or 4 passes behind the top teams, and that's about right.
Yeah, I've got to say that with 3 or 4, it seems like we're sort of with Spurs, and you think, yeah, we're dominating the ball, but when you look at what Brighton do, and when they get the ball, they reset every time. They go back and they go for, they reset and move that ball forwards, and then 3, 4, bang, you're under pressure. It doesn't matter where they win that ball. I just feel though, Gerry, it's getting to the stage now where you think, actually, this can't continue. And I'm not calling for Fark to go, because I genuinely don't know what the solution here is in terms of, X and Twitter. It's a minefield out there at the moment, calling for Fark to go. But it boils down to that quality, the underlying quality which we have is just not good enough, is it really?
Yeah.
Brendan Aronson, as much as great, like what you said, he was great against West Ham. You think, yes, God, he's the Ballon d'Or winner, and then he's just absolutely shocking. But that's why he's a championship player, isn't it? Because it's not consistent. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, God knows what he's thinking. But what worries me is when you look at that bench, you think, well, we can't change it up, can we? There's nothing there to change it up. And I am a bit worried because, as you mentioned, that Forest game now on Sunday next week is absolutely massive. Because if we go and lose that, we're in real trouble. And I'm very concerned, and we can't rely on our home form because other teams down there, I think Forest will pick up. I really do. They've got Dyche in there now, and you just think, it's just a nightmare. And I do feel it, and it says it all though, Gerry, and I know you weren't there yesterday, but the away fans yesterday, I was watching it on TV. They were leaving before the full-time whistle. And Leeds United fans don't do that. And when they do that, it stinks when that happens. Travelling all that way. Brighton, you're closer to bloody France than what you are at home. It's just, it says something. You've got to give a performance. And they were just so slack, would probably be the best way to describe it.
Well, if you're going to sit back and, the other team, sound like I know what I'm talking about, Brighton have a high press.
Yeah.
You've got to go out to them. That's even I know that as a 61-year-old playing football. You got to show them you're there and go out and play. But to just sit back and then pass around you and then making stupid mistakes. The third goal, the ball goes out from Perry again, and Bogle, I don't know what he was doing. He looked like a kindergarten player, and they're just giving him fair play to Georgie. He had a great spell in the second half, and he was good. And you just see what good recruitment is. And basically, we've spent 18 million on our forward line and 2 free transfer strikers. Although from what I hear, Calvin Lewis not a cheap one, but that's another conversation another day. I don't necessarily blame him so much because he got bugger all. He got no service. There was one, I think, went across the box. I think, should he be there or not? But just Okafor a couple of times, but having 0 shots on target till the 80th minute. And, it was who did hit that one? Oh, yeah, it was Nemecha went through. And he was a bit unlucky. And then Stack, who came on, he was unlucky with that one as well. But that was it. That was it. And in a game, you think, I never once got off the sofa to go, hurrah! Never once. It was. I went to make a coffee just before halftime. Unluckily, I looked at my phone to check the other results. Just you're about a minute behind, and it just showed Brighton 2-0. I thought bollocks, and I knew that was it. And they just, I don't know some of their players, but they've recruited. They brought on a Greek teenager who's supposed to be decent. They've got that guy on Minto or whatever on the wing, and just good players who you don't. And you think. That's the difference, and the manager who will revolve the team around, change it, and maybe different tactics. We don't change it, and we don't change the team. But there's got to be Pirro's got to come on. So I'm not saying he's the answer, but we said maybe play 2 up front, go for it. You lose, try something different. But we just seem to be. Well, we made the subs at about 60 minutes yesterday, but
that should have been, wasn't it? It's only 17 at back.
Yeah. And there was the subs again. You think coming up, well, why is Brendan still on the pitch? Then you got Jack coming on. Well, Stack, he looked a wee bit better. He was way off form. But as I said before, I thought Ampadu is the one that worries me because against Burnley for the second goal, he was caught ball watch. And even the other night against West Ham, he was ball. And the third goal, the guy gets in front of him and he's strolling back. And I think he's been well off. We're giving Ampadu great credit, and deservedly so since he came here. But he's someone that needs to literally pull his socks up, because when that Burnley goal went in, he was pulling his socks up and watching it, and he seems lax at the moment. And just because you're captain doesn't mean you deserve your place. So I think he's got it up his game. I thought centre half Bijol and Joe Rodon, I thought okay, but when it's not when your midfield is not covering the defense and the attack's not keeping the ball up there, then you're stuck. So forget about XG, forget about possession. It's all bollocks. The goals column is what counts, and goal chances, at least you see something's happening, and we are well off it. And then when we do get chances, we don't convert it. So
and it just shows as well the quality which have. And I know Danny Welbeck, he always scores against Leeds. It was an easy goal for him.
He could have had another one earlier.
He that quality. I know he's about 50, but he's it's that quality, isn't it? Lewis Dunk as well at the back. These players which they've got, standout ones for me.
Van Hecke at the back, he gets forward a pass. He was almost playing in the last third. You need to get on someone like that. Show him, just leave one on him. Early on, just say you're not doing that. Just chase him, hassle him a bit. But not just let him stand back. Come on, on you go. Yeah, go that way. Go. We're not going to tackle you. Yeah. You're grand. Yeah.
It was just a real nightmare, and it just frustrates me that your fans like yourself and the thousands who have travelled down, and there'll be the thousands who didn't have tickets and have gone down there for the day, and you've got to wear the shirt with pride, work for it, and don't just give up. It was just pathetic. It was just so lackluster. There was nothing to it, and that's what frustrates me. Is that it's always a difficult place to go there. The Amex is, we've got an awful record there, by the way, as well, haven't we? Absolutely dreadful. I don't think we've ever won there.
No, we've not. We haven't scored in 8-9 visits. The last we won at the Whitdean, and we were Fabian Delph and Johnny Howson, and that was League One days. Fair enough. You got grounds where it doesn't happen, but this is that can happen anytime. It's just you got to be better than this at a one-off game. We had a full squad, fully fit, and they had 7 injuries, and it was hard to work out which one was which. But there's got to be more consistency. There's got to be tactically we got to be a bit more radical. Change it at halftime. Change it at halftime. We know that never happens. Do something different, But we're limited. I mean, not a fully fit Dan James. I don't know if Dan James even got a touch second half. I didn't even notice. No. Nemecha, he puts himself about, and he had our best chance, but we got to spend in January. I mean, the 49ers got to be looking at this and thinking, this is not what we invested in. And I'm not calling for the manager's head, but he's got to be. It's getting a wee bit tetchy at the moment, and let's say lose to Forest, and we've got a bad run of games. You don't want to wait till February. So, I think Forest is pivotal now. I mean, we know Jesse lost his job after that, but he was a prick, so that was all right. I like Daniel Farke and what he's done for us, but
David says, why did we try passing out the back? Thought we'd part that after Arsenal. No idea, David.
It's just mad.
And then apparently Dominic Calvert-Lewin picked up a quad injury. Well, if he has,
I've heard that.
God, well, there's no hope for us. Is there?
No, Harry Gray.
Harry Gray.
Danny Howson in.
Might have to. We've got no choice.
Yeah. Get Joffy back. He's going for fun.
He is scoring for fun.
Can we have him back in January? So play a guy, give him a regular slot, and show him a bit of love, and he's brilliant. Even JB scored yesterday for Hull or Fly. The championship is a black hole. It really is. It's dreadful. We don't want to go back there, but it's interesting at these things.
Yeah. So what would you do then, Gerry? Because obviously there's a lot of fans who are calling for Farke to go now because they've had enough and they haven't seen the changes and things. Nonto is due back eminently from injury. Do you think he comes straight back in now for Aronson maybe?
Yeah, if he's fit, but whether Fark doesn't do that, I would not be surprised if we start, if all injuries aside, if Calvert-Lewin's not injured, we start with the same team and the same setup next week. I've said it all season. Brendan, give him the credit last week, but he's not a starter, and he's not going to.
No.
He's a championship, £28 million championship player, as we know. And yesterday, I think not only falling over, but he bottled at least 3 tackles. And I said last week that is the bottom line for me. You don't bottle, you don't pull out. And it might be me, maybe I'm being unfair, but I thought he did. And I thought he should have been subbed, and I would drop him straight away. He's not bringing it into the team, and that's harsh to say after last week when he nearly scored a worldie. But at away games, you got to change. You got to run an away plan, and we don't seem to. I mean, we beat Wolves, but who doesn't? With Fulham, we were more aggressive, and you thought that's not bad. That was good. Burnley was inept. Arsenal was inept tactically, and yesterday was inept tactically and everything. So there's a bit of a pattern here. There's 3 away games. We've won 1 and lost 4, and that's relegation form. We know it's going to be tough. We knew this season was going to be tough, but you want to go with a bit of a battle. And you even look at Burnley; they give it a bit, and Sunderland. We don't talk about Sunderland, but they got to have a bit more grit. And that's just not good enough. And I say, don't throw stats at me. I'm not interested.
The stats are interesting because
we had more possession towards the end of the game. What does that mean? We passed it across the field and passed it back to the keeper more than anybody else. I'd love to see that heat map. I really would. No, I don't. I don't want to see it. Yeah.
Oh, it's absolutely, it's dreadful. Mark says, how many of these shockingly poor performances are we expected to put up with Fark out? Stop picking Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Is it time for Nemecha to maybe have a start against Forest, Gerry? Do you think that would probably be a change needed?
It may happen, but as I said, Calvert-Lewin, he's led the line. I know he's not scoring goals. Yesterday, there was nothing. Okafor got a couple of flashes, but nothing else. There was nothing going forward. I didn't see the time. All these corners and everything didn't even make the first man. I have to say, Longstaff, his worst game as well. He was poor. He could have taken off any of the midfielders. Sadly, Tanaka didn't get going either. I wouldn't write. I mean, Longstaff's been great this season, so he's probably got more in the tank. But I don't know. Nemecha, maybe he does deserve a start. We were talking on the View a few weeks ago, and we said let's try a 3-5-2. Calvert-Lewin wins the ball. There's nobody beside him. There's a couple of times yesterday he gets on a run. You think, well, he's got 3 players around him. He's isolated. There's nothing doing. You've got to. Your forward players have got to work as a team, and they were miles apart. Miles apart. So,
and you got to play to your strengths as well, haven't you? He's right. You got to play to your strengths. Calvert-Lewin's strength is his aerial ability, isn't it? It's his headers, and if you're going to play to that, you need 2 quality wingers to get that service to him. And Okafor and Aronson just can't do it.
But you can't argue. 1 goal in 10. You can't argue if he's not scoring. But as I said, he's missed some big chances at home. That was it Spurs or Bournemouth? I can't remember where he was through early on in the game, I think. And that's the sign of a good striker. Get Georgie back. Yeah, he looked
this is the thing. If you look at that, Rutter yesterday, I think he wasn't his best game for Brighton, but he had sparks, didn't he? It was a spark play for Leeds, and if the sparks were going to were fantastic, and it just shows if we had that quality in the middle there, in and around that front 3, you'd be all right. You create things, but we just don't have it at the moment at Leeds. And
if you're not playing,
we're going to change it quickly.
And if you're not playing a number 10 or didn't buy one, then you got 3 defensive midfielders who aren't really defending, or Tanaka's more attacking. But they're not dominating the midfield. We saw earlier, remember that Newcastle game, we dominated in midfield, and the whole word the season was we're being competitive, and that's good. We'll win more, get more points than we lose, but we weren't competitive yesterday, and that is the worry. I think somebody says goalkeeper had a big part to play in the first goal. I suppose.
Yeah, Richard.
Was there a bad kick out? I can't remember. All I remember is that Goodmanson got skinned and the ball came across. I don't necessarily. He has to come for that, and your goal line is open. And the goalkeeper, I thought that save he made with the deflection, and there was one low down as well. and the rest I can't really blame. But footwork, but just boot it out, just send it long.
Yeah,
twat it
hope for the
forward.
Yeah. Looking at that as well, we haven't mentioned Joel Pirot. David says there, got Pirot into the team there. He hasn't been off the bench for a few
Try
weeks
something
now,
different. We could almost name those subs, couldn't we?
Yeah.
What was going to happen? If there's anybody, this Barnard guy, he wants to leave. Why buy players and not play them? Rotate the squad. Give people a bit of a kicking now and again. You're not a regular in the team if you're not doing it.
Yeah.
If I couldn't, I don't know who I'd drop Ampadu next week. I would.
Yeah.
I'd maybe Gruev in there, or just Longstaff play that. I don't know, because he's been way off, and he needs a bit. He's been injured and stuff, but I think he needs a bit of a boot up the arse.
Yeah. And do you know what? It's a statement, isn't it? Because the Forest game on Sunday is going to be massive. I think for me, bring Nonto back in. I think Okafor's shown size. I'm still yet to be sold on him. I think we need to change Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I think he needs to be dropped. Bring him off the bench. And we've got one of the top attacking talent which we had last year in Joel Pirot. I think it's time for him to come back in now, because he must be thinking, what the bloody hell? I've helped us get up from the bloody Championship. What did he score? 20 plus goals or something last year.
Yeah.
He deserves a chance, and he's not been given it. And that, for whatever reason, I don't know why, Fark's very quiet about it, isn't he? He doesn't let off as to what's happened with him. Give him a run out, because it needs to change. And if we lose to Forest on Sunday, it's alarm bells. We're going to be calling for his head.
We're running out of teams between us and the bottom three, and it looks like it's going to be Wolves, West Ham, us, and Burnley, I think, and hopefully
Fulham.
West Ham.
I want to say Fulham as well.
I don't know. I think teams like that just have enough, but I hope you're right. I mean, they beat Wolves yesterday, but but you think we need to be gaining points on those. We're still ahead of the points per game, but that will change. We know that's going to change in December. And you look at some of the top teams, you think, oh Jesus, what's it going to be like? But I just want to see us a bit more fight and a bit more tactical now, and that's all. That's all we ask for, really. If we go down fighting, we go down fighting. And I know Bielsa, we used to be 6-0 down and thinking we're playing well.
Yeah.
Not back to Bielsa. Because remember that game at Old Trafford? We were 4-0 down after about 10 minutes or something. And we thought, we're doing okay, though. We're going for it, and we're getting caught. And more attacking, but 2 shots on target and 1 move is just not acceptable. And not troubling them at all. It's their easiest day. And that was a chance. That was a chance a team a point ahead of us, just to make a bit of a mark. I said, snap your hand off for a draw. I would have all day yesterday. But at 10, 15 minutes in, I thought, nah, there's nothing happening here. And I'm just glad there was no 5-hour drive back. And fair play to all the fans that did. Yeah. I feel like I'm not loyal anymore because I didn't get yesterday. That's my first game I've missed since January home and away. So give me a bit of credit.
You've got to have a bit of credit, Jerry, and you missed a good one to miss, as you say. But on to Forest. Let's hope that they can pick up something there, because it's a massive game. Forest are under pressure as well to pick up points. Leeds are under pressure. And then it's the international break. So you would imagine that if there was going to be some form of managerial change, they would do it after that.
But who's out there? Who's out there at the moment? At the beginning of the season, you said Dyche, Nuno, Potter. When you had these players, their stuff goes up and down very quickly. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get into that discussion, really, because I like Fark and what he's done for us, and he seems a decent guy. But it's going to come around. I'm in corporate next week at Forest. That's going to be fun. That's sitting on my hands. Me and Carl. Carl's not on here today, but me and Carl are in corporate. So we're going to sit in our hands. Well, if it's anything like yesterday. If it's anything like yesterday, it won't matter because we won't have anything to cheer. But there's got to be a reaction after that. I hope so. Forest was a bit of hit and miss, but there's a real needle. It's like a bit like a local derby. There's no love lost between the two, and it's a good ground to go to. They sing their songs about fog on the river or something like that, and it's just a crap song, So let's show them anyway. It's FA Cup today. I'm looking at teams we possibly non-league teams that can knock us out in the third round. Yeah.
Oh God, who's going to knock us out of the FA Cup? I'm not even bothered about the FA Cup. South Shields, maybe Eastleigh.
Yeah. I
Malden
want
and
to know.
Tiptree.
Yeah, that's a drink, isn't it? With gin,
Malden
isn't it? I
and
don't know.
Tiptree, yeah, it must be. Never heard of them. I
No.
hope they beat Port Vale. I really do. Gainsborough, they should beat Accrington Stanley, surely. There were a couple of I know who. But I don't know. Forget the FA Cup. I'm not interested in it, if I'm being honest. I'd rather get knocked out by what are they called? Tiptree United or whatever they're called.
There's a team that'll do that. We know where they are. Yeah. I'd love us to go on a cup run, but I imagine they'll probably just put a reserve team out because there's more important things like Liverpool did the other night. Yeah. Well, but it looks like a different league when you're watching Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. You think, well, that's the division above us. It's like this is 3 leagues we're in. Brighton are in the middle one. We're in the bottom part of the league. So, but we knew that'd be the case. We just got to survive this year and invest. We got to invest in January. I mean, this Ivan Toney thing is probably just social media, but that's the sort of quality we need to get in January on loan.
It wouldn't surprise me if he went to bloody Wolves or somewhere like that, or Forest or West Ham, and he fired them up. It would not surprise me. And it would be bloody Burnley. Why not throw Burnley in there as well?
That's we should be ambitious and get something like that, and just spend the money.
We should
and do it.
And it seems like Wolves, though, they're in self-destruct mode, aren't they? There's 2 other teams to go down with Wolves, and I think we're in that little scrap out with West Ham.
How's their manager still? They give him a new contract, didn't it? 2 or 3 games in. That's not bad business if you can get it. I mean, I've been looking for a new contract off you for ages, but you're paying me on a weekly basis.
Well, anyway,
it leaves me vulnerable, you know.
Well, there you go. It's just one of those. It's a nightmare to quickly forget, and hopefully, Gerry, you can enjoy corporate at the City ground and bring us something. I think we'd take a point right now, wouldn't we, just to stop this little bit of a rot.
At least a win would be massive. But let's see something different. I don't expect Daniel to do anything different, but let's see a bit of fight, lads. You owe those fans who travelled yesterday. You really do. And I don't know if any Leeds players ever look at podcasts, but we don't like to slag you off. Credit when it's due. We'll give it when it's not. And he's lacked a bit of bottle yesterday, and that's not good enough. That's the least we expect. And that was our poorest performance of the season. Let's hope it remains the poorest performance of the season, and it's not from there. Absolutely. And then we'll be on this podcast as Brendan Aronson scores twice at home to Liverpool. So what a player. What a player he is. Yes.
Oh, God. I'll tell you what, I'm dreading. I'm absolutely dreading, though, now. After that performance, I'm dreading December. I really, really am, because I just think, when you look at that, you just think, who've we got? We've got bloody City, Liverpool, Chelsea. You've got Brentford and Palace thrown in the mix of it.
Yeah, which aren't easy.
No,
they've changed their games around the course. No boxing. About 28th, we're playing Sunderland. The 4th, we're playing Scum. And 7th, away at Newcastle. Is it an 8:15 kickoff? I think.
You're right. Yeah.
Yes. Who gives? They don't care about the fans. They're just traveling fans. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about them traveling. It really doesn't. What's the other game which is in that? I think Liverpool is on New Year's Day. Didn't want that. I was happy the way it was. It was 27th Sunderland, 30th Liverpool. Have a nice rest on New Year's Day. Off time. Well, at least it's close to me, so it's not too bad. But it's not good.
It's not good. Not good. Right, we'll leave that there. A bit of therapy needed for on Sunday morning. It's my missus's birthday, so I need to go.
Happy birthday, Daisy, isn't it?
Happy birthday, Daisy. She's
you're punching above your weight there, Aaron. Yeah,
I know. So I think we're going to go to a farm. Let's go to a farm, Daisy.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, not pumpkin farms though. Now we're not going to the pumpkin farm. We're to a proper farm.
You know, I don't like Halloween. I really don't. I think it's. I did go to a party and there was a fancy dress, and I went reluctantly. Yeah, I went as miserable bastard. Yeah, and all that pumpkin and kids running around with sweets and cobwebs. Yeah, just no, not for me. But I'm a miserable git anyway at the best of times, and on to this Guy Fawkes, isn't it? So let's get a bonfire going, Leeds, for this one, and now we're going to be inundated with Christmas stuff. Right?
Oh God, don't get me started.
Christmas doesn't start till the 12th of December in my book. Nothing goes up, but I've no say in the matter. So, but I don't think Christmas. I love the 3rd of January when it's all over. Yeah.
Well, I like January the 3rd because there's a nice saying with that. But it's the festive period is upon us, isn't it?
Got to find something to watch, and I'm watching that thing started watching it about Iris on, I think it's Sky. Yeah, chasing Iris, finding Iris, and it's quite good actually. Yeah, it's
we're still on Monster. We're still on that.
Ed Gein.
Yeah, that one.
That's sinister, isn't it? Whoa.
There's some sick people around.
Let's say if you've seen that fella walking down the road with a shovel, give him wide berth. That's all I'm saying. You have to watch it to see. No, Chasing Iris is good. There was another one watched this week. What's the Monsters, which was the
House of Guinness is good. I do recommend that. Finish that. That's brilliant.
Which one's that? The
House of Guinness.
Oh yes, that's good. Yeah, that is good. Yeah, some of the accents a bit, but it was. There's definitely a second series there. Yeah. I watched one called Task.
All right. Okay.
Which was good. Again, that's on. I think it's on Netflix or one of those. I can't remember. Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, I recommend that. He's a good actor, quite good. Other than that, I've never watched The Traitors. I'm not interested.
Oh, Gerry, have you not watched The Traitors? Oh,
no, I've never watched it. I've not. Strictly, never.
Bacon, I watched that yesterday. Strictly, oh God, what's his name now? The kid on that yesterday was brilliant. What's his name? Lewis. He was fantastic.
Is he a YouTuber or somebody? No,
he's
Chelsea or something.
I think he's an actor. I think he's in Emmerdale or somewhere.
Oh, there you go. So I mean, I'm a celebrity. I'm a celebrity's coming up now as well. Another thing to avoid. I don't watch terrestrial TV. It's just hateful stuff. It's just garbage.
Do you recommend though the Traitors? The Celebrity Traitors have been brilliant. It'll have you hooked, Gerry.
I don't even understand what it's about. So they all just.
It's like a murder mystery. Yeah, it's like a murder mystery. You got to work out who the traitors are. Honestly, it is worth a watch. Give it a go. But I prefer the civilian series rather than the celebrity ones because that starts in January. Honestly, give it a go.
Seems popular among the kids, but I'm not. Sometimes I watch when people are buying properties abroad, and I think you've no interest in buying a property. You're there for a free holiday to have a look around, aren't you? And you look and you think, our budget is 200 grand. No, it isn't. You haven't got any money. No. Look at you. That's the sort of people that you deal with. And no, don't believe it at all. I really don't. No. Go back home and you're got 20 quid in your pocket and you got a free holiday. And the woman knows it who's showing them around. She'll sort of go, oh, they didn't like that one. What she's saying is they're not interested. Anyway, these are the things that distract us in life.
Yeah. And we it's a welcome distraction, Gerry, because Leeds are crap and you need it.
I saw a reality show this week where a guy gets he loses all his titles and gets sent to live in a horrible 5-bed house on an estate, and that's he's really that's really showing him, isn't it? I mean, it's so stupid that it'll never happen in real life.
And now he's a commoner. He's one of us, Gerry. It's a commoner now.
He is something beginning with C, which we don't want on here because of the algorithm. Yeah. But he really is, and he's a very big one. Yeah, and a guilty one. Yeah.
He can enjoy his.
You know what? Leeds don't seem so bad after all. They're a nice bunch of lads. Come on, we got to do better. This is a bad day, bad weekend. Yeah. We can do better. Let's finish on a positive note. We go and beat those Forest and Sean Dyche and all that, and show them next week. And we win. We're back on track.
And I'll give you a little bit of positivity with the Forest one. They're playing in Europe on Thursday, so they're going to be knackered from that. So. Yeah. If they haven't got that, that's a golden opportunity to go and get 3 points because they'll be knackered. They want a European run. They need that. Dyche wants a European run. So hopefully they can put all their effort into getting a result in Europe. They're playing somebody who I've never heard of in Europe. In fact, I'll quickly tell you, they are playing somebody who I've never heard of. You've probably heard of them, Gerry, because you like the European campaign. They are playing Sturm Graz.
Sturm Graz, yeah, they're Austrian.
Graz,
Yeah, they're
Austrian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they beat Celtic recently, which most teams have. I'm
Yeah.
talking to Celtic, it's the big one. Martin O'Neill's back in the job. Oasis are tour. Are we in the year 2000? I don't know, but yeah, Celtic Rangers today. That'll be good. Yeah, in the League Cup semi-final, I'll watch that. And my old team, my home team, Dundalk, are struggling. We mightn't get to play in the Premier League after promotion because our ground is rubbish. But so it's not been a good weekend. I watched the All Blacks beat Ireland last night, cheated their way through, and it's not been a good sporting weekend, really not.
No.
So let's have
hopefully
something better
next
today.
weekend will be a little bit better.
There we go.
Yeah.
And,
there we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's those telly programs. When the boat comes in, David. Wow, that's an old one. When the boat comes in, that's not the way it's sang, but that's way before your time.
I have no idea. It's just completely over my head.
Yeah, it was from the 70s. Yeah, you got to watch That's TV and stuff like that. You see old things like The Saint, The Persuaders, all these things. Which
I was channel hopping the other day. Benny Dawn was on there, and I think Shameless was on there. I thought, well, that bloody hell, Shameless.
Shameless,
wow.
yeah. They were
Crazy.
Classics until they overdid them. But there's tucked away some classics. Yeah, some others do have them, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, all before your time. Yeah, when we only had one telly and 3 channels. There you go.
There you go. Right, bit of therapy done for this week.
Yeah,
we will be back next week.
I'm ranting. I'm dribbling away talking rubbish, but then I'm doing this for years.
Yeah,
come on, Leeds.
Come on then. Cheers, Gerry. We'll see you on the next one, and let's hope Leeds can bounce back from a disappointing performance.
Here, folks. Come on.